Welcome to Picture Book Drama, where it is everything in entertainment. I am your host, Sean, your video and comic guru. We're going to be celebrating the 31 days of October. This is going to be a focus on our classic horror films, and nothing beats classic than in 1933's King Kong. This classic film was a masterpiece of special effects from Harryhausen. If you guys have not seen this, please check this film out. This is what sets a standard for filming in general. That's 1933's King Kong. Next we have from 1951, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Now this version is a double disc version. This has the original and the Keanu Reeves version. We will not be talking about Keanu Reeves. This is all about the classic films, and in 1951, nothing's more classic than The Day the Earth Stood Still. Next, also from 1951, we have The Thing from Another World. Now this movie has James Arness in it as The Thing from Another World. If you guys watch Gunsmoke, you know exactly who James Arness is. But in 1951, he was The Thing from Another World. Next, from 1953, we have War of the Worlds. This movie really just came because Orson Welles decided he was going to scare the crap out of people on the radio, and they decided to channel that into a feature film. Really can't beat the radio broadcast, but this came real close. This is 1953's War of the Worlds. Next, from 1954, we have Them. This will be the only horror film that has an insect in it. I swear to God. Stop laughing, because I am not going to put a spider on this damn channel. This movie has ants that basically got hit with like radioactivity or something. Everything was radioactive back then, but in 1954, Them scared people in the cinema. Now, next we have a big boy here. From 1956, we have Forbidden Planet. This movie actually stars Leslie Nielsen, and if you guys watch like any of his comedies he's done, like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, this man was straight drama back in the day. And in 1956, he was from Forbidden Planet. Next, from 1956, we have, and in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure in our cameraman's opinion, one of the greatest movies made is Godzilla. In 1956, this was made actually twice. Well, one and a half. They filmed it in Japan, but when it came over to America, they figured that we weren't smart enough to be able to follow the plot. So they decided to throw Raymond Burr's ass in there and follow him around. And if anything, he kind of pulls you out the film, because he's the only one talking English and everybody else is speaking Japanese, but he can understand him. A little weird. But in 1956, this set the standard, and there have been dozens of sequels after that. You wouldn't have Gamera without this film. So, 1956, Godzilla. In 1959, we have The Bat. Vincent Price at his best. I mean, I would love to have every Vincent Price film, but I am so happy to have this in this listing. That is The Bat. And to keep that Vincent Price theme going, in 1959, he did House on Haunted Hill. This is yet another classic film that shows that you don't have to have a lot of special effects for this film to be effective. You just have to have good plot and great actors. That's House on Haunted Hill. Then we have, from the 70s, we're going to be hitting you with 1972, which is the year I was born, so that's awesome. And that is, don't laugh at me, it was great. It is The Last House on the Left. This film, oh, they weren't going to release this film. This film did some horrible stuff to people, and I loved every second of it. This film actually was by Sean Cunningham, and if you guys watch Friday the 13th, you know who he is. But this is where he got his starting chops. That's Last House on the Left. Now, for 1973, we have Legend of Hill House. This is another one. This is actually where we're going to be getting into the color. Same with Last House on the Left, but this movie was really creepy. The guy in this movie was just so creepy. But check this movie out, Legend of Hill House. Now, one I didn't think I'd have for this video, but I actually just got it today before we filmed it. This movie came out in 1978, and the version I have is the original director's cut. That is I Spit on Your Grave. This movie, people were losing every bowel they had in there, and I was soaking it up. This movie was great. This is 1978's I Spit on Your Grave. Now from the 80s, we have from 1981, My Bloody Valentine. this is where we kind of get into the slasher films. Not a big slasher film fan, but this is so classic and cheesy that I had to have this in here. And this is my Bloody Valentine. There's also a 3D version. I don't really need it because I don't have a 3D TV, so why have a 3D version? But now getting into our Scream Queen, we got Jamie Lee Curtis. God damn, I loved this woman when she was younger. If you guys watch True Lies, you know what I'm talking about. But in the 80s, this woman was the prom queen. This is Prom Night. Then last, certainly not least, we have from 1981, Dead and Buried. Again, another cheesy slasher film, but it was so well done, so well made. I mean, this movie was just fantastic. And you had James Ferrantino as a sheriff. He was awesome. But that's going to do it for our classic horror films, guys. I am Sean, your video and comic guru. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what your classic horror films are. We're going to be giving you a whole bunch more all month long. Thank you so much for giving me your time. See you guys later. Peace.